Marso 15, tuig 2020, ang atong kagamhanan sa Kabayan sa Subo mag-issue ning bag-o ka Executive Order number 052 na atong i-caption of an order declaring a state of general community quarantine in the city of Cebu and providing guidelines thereto. Uban kanako karon dinhi niya ang atong City Health Officer si Dr. Dijo Villa, niasad si Konsehal Philip Safra, niasad si Attorney Jerome Castillo, ang atong Special Assistant on Financial Matters, niasad si Councilor Dave Tumulak, isang adlaw Domingo, niasad si Councilor Raymond Garcia, niasad ang atong Secretary si Councilor Dave Tumulak, niasad ang atong City Legal Officer, si City Attorney Attorney Ray Galon, of course, ang atong konsehal usab na si Konsehal Idu Rama, kung ang usab si Attorney Roro Casas, o ang atong nailhan na kayo nga panday, the last but not the least, si Konsehal Joel Garganera. Unya tuwa dito ang atong DSWS si Dr. Ray Bones, sa atin kay kunay mga pangutana, may tungod po medical science, may mong siya ituwa. Kay dili man ta doktor, aduro man ta. Kaya naasa diha si Atty. Maratas, ang atong Department of General Services. Niasad si Atty. Maru Sabatera, ang atong Assistant City Administrator. Ako lang siguro i-spell out, pasahol lang nako kay this is an executive order. It has the force and effect of a law and guidelines of the City of Cebu. Mahitungod ning atong pagdeklara o general community quarantine. General community quarantine gani murag ato kami i-upgrade, no? Na ang mga tao tuwa dito ang atong city budget officer si Mayor Konya nga as much as possible ang atong mga kaigsuunan ng mga lumulungkyo to please we advise them to stay home unless there is a very important and compelling reason for them to stay out. Like for example, suot sa trabaho, doon ay mga medical na mga pinahanglan. Kaya ato na sang ilimit ang atong probably sa mga business establishments. Dami pa yun ng mga establishments na magpundo, ubay-ubay ng mga tao. Ganit, ato mga nakita, we comply with the social distancing required. 1 meter pa siguro kami ang mga opisyalis din sa bayan. Of course, ang ato na lang sigurong ibritso, ang ato na lang guidelines. Tanan lang yun, no? O, sige. Whereas Section 15 of Article 2 of the 1987 Philippine Constitution provides that the state shall protect and promote the right of the people and still health consciousness among them. Whereas on January 7, 2020, Chinese health authorities reported that the cause of a viral pneumonia outbreak in the city of Wuhan, Hubei province, China, was a novel type of coronavirus that has not been previously identified in humans. Whereas on March 7, 2020, the first case of localized COVID-19 transmission was confirmed by the Department of Health. Whereas on March 8, 2020, President Rodrigo Roa Duterte, recognizing that the COVID-19 public health event constitutes a threat to national security and to prompt a whole of government approach in addressing the COVID-19 outbreak, declared a state of public health emergency throughout the entire Philippines through Proclamation number 922. Whereas the World Health Organization has already characterized the COVID-19 as pandemic ka na extend sa spread, no? Kanya worldwide na. Kanya, whereas the Department of Health has already reported a total of 111 confirmed cases and 9 deaths due to the COVID-19 in the country as of March 15, 2020. Whereas the city government of Cebu sees the need to put the city under a community quarantine to intensify the precautionary and safety measures of the city against the COVID-19 virus. Now therefore, I, Edgato C. Labella, City Mayor of the City of Cebu, by virtue of the powers vested in me by law, do hereby order. Number 1, Section 1, Declaration of Community Quarantine. A state of general community quarantine is hereby declared and implemented in the city of Cebu from 12:01 a.m. of March 16, 2020 to 11:59 p.m. of April 14, 2020. Section 2, Community Quarantine Guidelines. For the period of March 16, 2020 to April 14, 2020, the following guidelines shall be observed in the city of Cebu. Number 1, Cebu City residents are strongly advised to stay in their homes and may only come out for work to buy food, medicines, and necessary supplies, and to go to medical centers. No one should be in the malls, community centers, commercial areas, and other public areas if they do not have any important transactions, business or otherwise. Number 2, government work shall not be disrupted. However, government agencies operating within Cebu City are encouraged to provide alternative work arrangements pursuant to the Civil Service Commission Memorandum Circular Number 7, Series of 2020. On this regard, I have already instructed the City Administrator and Human Resource Development, Ms. Dayan Ortiz, to formulate a guideline that we could comply the Civil Service Circular, which provides that if even we reduce the number of hours that our employees work, they should at least work 40 hours in a week. Number 3, all malls, recreational centers, community centers, and such other commercial areas are directed to limit their daily operational hours to 8 in the evening, alas 8 sa gabi, except medical centers and pharmacies and other healthcare establishments. Sa ato pa, ang atong mga malls, mga kalingawan, recreational centers, putubra sa alas 8 sa gabi. All private establishments are mandated to have temperature scanning devices at all entry points in their premises and should ensure that hand soaps are available in the restrooms and that hand sanitizers and or alcohol are readily accessible. All mass gatherings, including but not limited to concerts, cockpit operations, fiesta celebrations, private or publicly led, are hereby declared, are hereby cancelled and or postponed. Number 6, the suspension of classes in both public and private educational institutions in all levels is extended until April 14, 2020. Sa atong usa ka executive order up to March 28, karon we extend it April 14, 2020 when we declare a community quarantine system set up. All educational institutions are to implement distance learning and provide home assignments and projects to all students to continue the fulfillment of their educational requirements. Number 7, all private establishments are strongly encouraged to adopt flexible work arrangements pursuant to Dole Labor Advisory Number 9, Series of 2020, dated March 4, 2020. Number 8, seaports within the jurisdiction of the city government are hereby declared closed to passenger arrivals except for cargo deliveries of essential goods. However, those who are already in transit upon the effectivity of this executive order will be allowed to dock but shall be subjected to quarantine protocols as prescribed by the Department of Health. Number 9, public transportation within the city is still allowed subject to the observation of the Department of Transportation guidelines on social distancing and community quarantine. 1 seat apart and passenger occupancy should not be more than half of the capacity of the vehicle, including the driver. The city government shall implement a 9-hour curfew policy from 8 in the evening to 5 in the morning during the entire period of community quarantine. Number 11, health checkpoints shall be installed in all entry points in the city with the assistance of the Philippine National Police and the Armed Forces of the Philippines. Number 12, hospitals and medical establishments are directed to oblige all their health workers to wear proper protective equipment. Employees handling cadavers are likewise mandated to observe strict protocols on wearing protective equipment. Number 13, residents are to expect temporary closures of road as the necessity and conditions require. Number 14, all barangays are instructed to conduct house-to-house monitoring of individuals, particularly documenting pregnant women, sick individuals, senior citizens, and children under 10 years old. Number 15, the city government reserves the right to establish first response areas in certain barangay clusters. Section 3, effectivity. This executive order shall take effect immediately upon the signing hereof and shall remain effective until otherwise earlier revoked. Now, Section 4, sunset clause. This executive order shall be deemed automatically lifted, revoked, effective 11:59 p.m. of April 14, 2020, unless extended should the circumstances and conditions warrant. Done in the city of Cebu this 15th day of March in the year 2020. Signed.
Sir, what is the dagdag mga viewers? Nag-involve sila. Actually, we have 3,500 viewers karon. What's the difference sa community quarantine and a lockdown?
Well,
Sila.
of course, community quarantine as distinguished from the lockdown. Kining community quarantine, this is more of a general quarantine. Kining lockdown, this is like a upgraded or a graver kind of quarantine.
Zero entry na.
This is because in a community quarantine, people are still allowed to work, go to school. Some buildings or some malls, offices are still open, but on a limited basis. But if it is a lockdown, there is a total closure of these establishments. Muna yung diferensya sa community quarantine. There's another term, upstate quarantine. That is the enhanced quarantine. That is the lockdown.
Sir, what will happen for those, di ba, cancellations sa mga like masses or other gatherings? For those who will pursue the gatherings, what will happen?
Well, of course, as pointed out in this executive order, that will be assisted by the Philippine National Police and the Armed Forces of the Philippines. This is in pursuant to the general welfare provision of the local government code and, of course, the Constitution, to promote general welfare, to protect the health and well-being of the citizens. That is why, in fact, we have already here members of the police force who are willing and ready. There will be checkpoints that will be in place during the activity.
Ano sa mga entrance and exit points?
But of course, because this is just a general community quarantine, if they can satisfy or ilang ipakita na sila mo trabaho o eskwela, o trabaho o dunay importante gyud kayo ng mga buluhaton, then they are allowed as distinguished from the total lockdown.
Sir,
What's say ilang ipakita, Mayor, for the
Mga ID or ID sa trabaho or siguro kung makita sa mga Philippine National Police na pinunood yun ang ilang pag-anha sa mga lugar o pagsuot sa atong mga malls for whatever good purpose. Okay.
Mayor, there's the requirements of the IATF, they're stipulated there that when you declare a community quarantine, there should be a positive COVID case. Do we have a positive COVID
Well,
case?
we do not have yet a confirmed positive case. But, you know, it is better to be preemptive, precautionary, rather than reactionary and reactive. We have some persons of kanang monitoring na naman na, no? So, we have to be POI, persons under investigation. So it's better to be preventive, precautionary, rather than just reactive or reactionary. We will not wait any longer. We have to be preemptive and we have to be proactive.
What triggered, Mayor, to upgrade our preparation?
Because as we see in the reports all over the world, dili lang sa TV, kamura man mo, huwag kayo mag-contain. So let us not wait for something or more cases na mahitabo na to be. So we better have a community quarantine.
does the executive order of Gov Garcia, Mayor, also propel the executive order?
Ato sang gisuporta.
Mayor, do we have, aside from the PUIs, do we have, are we seeing patient ba under investigation na grabe?
Dili na lang dito maghuwat na naay mag-confirm. tungod sa atong madungo makita sa mga balita dili nang dinhi sa atong nasod